I just feel that this is just between this building and the building next to it. You're building a wall on the campus that's just not acceptable to me. You're walling off that part, you're walling off the campus, but, you know, it's too big, it's too high, and I wish you could build 2 apartment houses spaced out, so that you didn't have to build something towering over at the Queensboro Bridge. And it's disappointing because what's going to go next to you is going to completely block, you know, daylight and sunlight from, even though it's the tennis bubble and it's the sports bar, it's just going to tower over everything, and it's just going to completely cut off the south end of the island. It's going to be, no, it's just a wall. That's my comment.
Okay, Judy,
A lot of them were answered, so maybe just go backwards. So Judy raised the issue about the wall. Could we go to one of those perspectives or that show the whole site? That's a good one.
Okay.
So, if I read it correctly, there is some space between your building and
Yes.
that's the
Education
Executive Conference Center.
Hotel, yeah.
So do you know, I know that building hasn't been designed, but I gather that site location is pretty much set. So assuming that that's a 100% coverage building, what's the space between your building and that building?
First of all, there's a zoning restriction built into the zoning code that forces these buildings to be pushed apart. Where the master plan had it was actually closer than where we're anticipating it now. I know that Cornell's interested in trying to get that opening as wide as possible. So this is at least 60 feet. I don't remember, you know, since they haven't nailed that down, but it has to be 60 feet because of the separation required by zoning.
So there will be 2 tall buildings, but there will be a gap
At
of
least a
approximately 60
60-foot
feet
gap
between them.
on the diagonal, in other words. You know.
Deliveries we talked about. The north face of the building, how far is that from the bridge, and what kind of noise attenuation in terms of the windows and such will you have? Because we live on Main Street, and it's a lot further from
Sure.
the bridge than this will be, and I'm just, you know, we hear the bridge, so I wonder how.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'm guessing here, because we anticipated that this question might come up, and I think it's at least 270 feet or so, the corner to the bridge front, the back corner of the building towards the bridge, maybe a little more. We could find out and get you an exact answer back. You know, so it's at least a football field's worth of distance. In terms of noise attenuation, a couple of things. One, the walls are very thick. They're filled with a lot of insulation beyond the standard form of energy code requirements in the city. And second, these are at least double, if not triple glazed windows. And we're still researching which level of glazing we have to do, but this is sort of an example of triple glazed glass here. This stuff has incredible noise attenuating properties, much better than the older insulated glass because you have 3 layers, not 2. I can't say for a fact that we'll end up with this, but right now our general approach is anticipating we may be able to use this glass, which also has a high thermal performance characteristic.
But Larry, I can tell you these would be more high performance windows than 405 Main Street, and we don't get complaints about the bridge noise at 405.
Okay.
As long as there's not a subway running over the bridge, because we've dealt with another.
Which,
Yeah, we actually had a building 100
Yeah,
feet from that
exactly.
bridge, and that was not fun.
Okay. So I guess I had one more. The cup abuts the building. How high, to what height in your building, or what floor does the cup?
Sure, no, fair question. I'll show you, we've got it in the diagram right here. So Larry, this is a cross section as if you were cutting through the building and looking west. Right, here's the tech walk, here's middle North Loop Road right here. So there's the roof of the cup. and it comes up just a little bit above our second floor. So our first resident, and all of this is support space, service space, nobody's living in that gray zone in our building. And so I'd say the third floor is, I'm guessing here, at least 12 to 13 feet above the roof of the cup.
What's the cup?
Central
Sorry.
Utilities Plant.
Sorry, yes.
Everybody's got initials except us.
Yeah,
We're still
that's a
working
good
on it.
question, Judy. It's central utility, and then the FAB is the first academic building, and the COLO's a co-location.
But the cup is where
And
the,
our building is the only one without an acronym.
Right, we're working on it.
So
We're
far.
working on it.
It's got the transformers, the power
Oh, okay.
transformers, so it's
Yes.
the hardware.
essentially it's the central electrical distribution point, and then the step-down power goes to the different buildings on the campus.
What about floods and things like that?
Well, funny you should ask. The reason we don't have a basement here is that ground plane in our building is at elevation 19, which is way up there. We didn't, or Cornell and Hudson didn't want to risk putting any utilities below that. The utility ground level in the cup, as I understand it, the office is at elevation 23, so they're working even harder, just going up another foot or two than we're going right here. You can kind of see a little bit. There's the floor level there. So their infrastructure, their power, and all this distribution stuff is even higher. So it's pushing. That thing is located right on the high point ridge of the island. So it's really, hopefully, out of any future flow. So at least, come on, you have some faith here. You know, better wear a building.
It's too bad you don't have an athletic building, and then you could have the athletic building next to the first academic building, and you could have an fab.
Nice. I like that.
Okay.
One of the items in our, that was agreed to in the term sheet was the ability to communicate with the students and the faculty, and that would be in this building. So are you putting anything in there, some mode of communication, like a electronic communication like they have in a lot of buildings?
Not that I know of.
Or you're talking about like video newsletters or internet connection?
Yeah,
Give us an
Building
example.
link or whatever, I think.
Oh, building link.
Building link.
We have those in our buildings.
Yeah.
You talking, but that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you can put in, so you can, so we can let people know what's going on.
Sure.
That's building link.
I think it's just emails and.
Building link, right?
Wi-Fi.
Are you thinking of something like River, what we have?
in our building.
This is going to be a
River Pods?
modern 21st century building, right? They'll probably even have an intercom that you don't have to work off the telephone.
Well, it's funny. We've had to relook at all that because people don't have landlines. So if you design and build the infrastructure of an intercom system for the new apartment building that's based on your landline, you're going to have a problem reaching after your tenants, especially with this applied sciences graduate student program. They don't even know what a landline is.
Right.
Right.
Text it.
Anything else? Who has the attendance sheet, by the way?
I don't find it.
I don't. Is
Okay,
that-
who's there?
Somebody.
Okay, so if there's anybody who came in after we signed up, we'll just pass it around. So I guess, thank you very much, really interesting presentation.
Thank you for your time.
And,
Appreciate it.
Does the committee want to stay where they are and discuss this, or
Go to the 10.
we'll